Let's start off with KUMACA, where Municipal Chief Executive for Sokore Mampong is optimistic that KUMACA Academy will not experience any outbreak of an epidemic nature in the near future. Alhaji Ali Duseidu believes that preventive measures adopted before the outbreak of the H1N1, including decongesting exercises, are enough to avert future occurrences. He's been speaking to my colleague Ohemin Teria, who's been monitoring the vaccination exercise that's been underway for students and teachers of KUMACA. Now, 4 students have died so far from that outbreak, leaving over 70 others hospitalized.
How would you rate the performance and the work done by the health officials, health team on KUMACA Academy H1N1?
First of all, I will start by thanking the multimedia for the little man's job that you've done so far. From the one, you've been so consistent with us. The center of attraction has been KUMACA Academy, and for that matter, Sokore Mampong municipality. So we thank you very much for all the things that you've done so far. Then the medical team, the staff, the headmaster, the PTA, and all the other stakeholders within the school, Nana, Sokore Mampong, and the students themselves. I would say we thank them all because you bear witness to all the things that happened. At the time, unlike multimedia, most of the media houses were giving misleading reports, and it became very difficult controlling the situation. But we stood our feet down that we would do our best. This issue becomes a thing of the past. So we thank God, and we say so far, so good. We thank God for all He has brought us so far.
And looking at you already thanked the medical team, but you are in charge of security in this district, in this municipality. If you are to rate the performance of the health workers right from day one, when they struggled to diagnose the condition, all of us were referring to this condition as strange, until they came out with diagnosis. From that time till when we have the vaccination, how would you rate their performance?
The performance has been very good, very appreciative, because you bear witness from day one. As and when we were saying that we should tackle the problem from a medical point of view, and for that matter, scientific point of view, there were other school of thoughts that were talking about spiritual aspect also. We said no until we are able to know what is what. We wouldn't just give a conclusion by the fact that because somebody is sitting somewhere and saying that we should look at spiritual aspects, then it's absolute. We said no. It took the medical team from the Municipal Health Directorate to the Regional Health Directorate and to the National Health Directorate. You can see how the reaction and the response with immediate line of action was. I would say they've done their best. They've done so well, because if we had not ascertained what the problem was, we wouldn't have been where we are today. But because of the zeal, the confidence, they were on top of it. So we thank God, and I would say they've done so well. It is our wish that we don't experience this. It's a bad experience. It is our wish that we don't get into anything of this nature in our lives again, because it happened once, it happened the second time. And I can tell you, the response, the zeal, the commitment, the way we all came out from the region, national, municipality and all, everybody contributed so hard. So I can tell you that as it is now, I'll be the least person or the last person to expect that we will have this problem again. Once it's been identified and tackled, I hope we wouldn't get there again, because as I'm speaking with you, we are also planning the decongestion aspect also. Next week, the administration block that is being done by the assembly will be continued, because the contractor will be on site any moment from today. He will be on site to make sure that he finishes with that one. Other dormitories are also in line to make sure that we fix them, just to decongest the whole place. So by the time the student returns, it will be a good story for us to hear.
How are you so optimistic that this will happen again? Because first, it was an outbreak of meningitis in April, and in July, we were hit by outbreak of H1N1. So how are you so optimistic that we won't, wake up one day to record another outbreak at KUMACA Academy?
You see, you look at the response, the way it came. The Vice President of the Republic of Ghana had to come down. The Director General of Ghana Health Service had to come down. You have WHO, all of them, all the technocrats were in line just to make sure that we find a lasting solution to the problem. And I don't doubt the expertise that we have as far as all these organs are concerned. So, and on top of that, look at the way the vaccination, how it's been administered. The administration of the vaccination has been very good, has been consistent. From yesterday up till now, we are hitting 3,000. It tells you that the response is going on well. Students are coming, parents are coming, even non-teaching staff are also coming. Then community populace, people, when they also get the information that the vaccination is being carried, they come also to be vaccinated. So it tells it all that as it is, I don't think that anyway you should expect the unexpected. But I'm very much optimistic that as it is now, we wouldn't be there again. We wouldn't be there again. Never again should we experience this. It's about the experience. It's about the experience.
Okay, in terms of resources, you're talking about, decongesting the KUMACA Academy campus here. Now, how much have you earmarked for such projects? You're talking about the completion of the administration block and then several other dormitory projects. How much will it cost the assembly in providing these facilities?
The assembly don't even look at the costs. We are looking at the problem and it's tackling how we should tackle it. So if it will take the assembly a whopping sum just to find solution to the problem, the assembly will do. Because you see, as we move along, at any point in time, at any given situation, it comes with something. We are ready. We are on our feet because we prioritize the whole thing just to make sure that we find a lasting solution to the problem. It's not easy to lose a life.
And how soon, when you start, how soon would you complete this project? Because if you're talking about congestion is an existing issue. KUMACA Academy.
We are marshalling our forces. We are marshalling our forces. We will be on our feet to see to the lasting solution to the problem. If it will take us, look, the contractors are moving. The one working on the administration block will be moving any moment from now. Like I told you yesterday, we had a meeting. Today we are continuing with our meeting. There are variations and all that. We consider all those things. But we have said that no matter what happens, he has to be on site. He will come. And at the moment he comes to on site, we will make sure he wouldn't leave the site until he finishes. Then the other dormitories and all that, the PTA are also on it. We are also meeting the PTA to see they've gotten stuck, how and what has been the problem. If there is a need for the assembly to also come in that regard, the assembly will do. His Excellency the President was here. He came and he promised us that all the Get Farm projects that have been halted will be continued. Today, this morning, I met the headmaster. They are writing through me to Get Fund, then to the presidency. We are also looking at that angle also, because there are a whole lot of projects that are uncompleted here. We are marshalling our forces. We are moving in to make sure that we fix all of this, so the issue of congestions will be solved, issues of a whole lot of things will also be looked into. So we are ready. We are very ready.
Ohemin Teriada is speaking to the MCE for the area. Ohemin joins me live from KUMACA here. Let's get some updates on that vaccination process and the fact that the students have vacated and so they were basically going home. Hello, Ohemin. If you can hear me, can you walk us through the cause of the delays initially?
Thank you, Gifty. The exercise kicked off yesterday. As at yesterday, health officials managed to vaccinate 2,680 students and teachers of Kumasi Academy. But unfortunately, though health officials had expected over 3,000 of the students and their teachers to take part in the exercise, some did not show up. So there were expectations that 320 or more of them will turn up today. And today, as the health official said, they will present skeletal team to work on Kumasi Academy campus. 2 teams were on hand to provide the vaccination to students and teachers who needed them. So as at the time I was leaving the campus after 2 p.m., the exercise was still ongoing, and the team had attended to over 100 of the teachers and students and their relatives in this exercise. Another incident is the fact that health officials, health workers are also receiving the vaccines today. Apart from the 4 major hospitals that we do know will be taking the exercise, we know Kumasi South Hospital, Menchia Government Hospital, and then Konfanoshi Teaching Hospital, as well as the KUMACA Hospital health workers are taking part in today's exercise. There's also another team from the Asokoro-Mampong municipal area who are also taking part in the exercise. Let me also say that 3 of the nurses at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology Hospital contracted the H1N1 flu. So that actually heightened officials' response in giving the vaccination to health workers as well.
That's quite alarming. So 3 nurses we know at the moment have contracted the virus, but do we know about others? How did they find out, first of all? How did they find out that the 3 nurses have contracted the virus? Ohime.
First, the Ghana Health Service set up a surveillance systems across the entire country, and beyond these 3 nurses, even at the time that health officials thought that the epidemic has gone down, 2 more cases were recorded, one in Abuakwa and another in Ejuso. And when they traced the routes, they realized that these were students of Kumasi Academy who had gone home with the virus. So the entire surveillance system put up by the health authorities is working. I do recall that some releases that are intercepted from Western region, Bron Ahafo, the Upper East, and then the Northern regions and other parts of the country, asking the medical superintendents to be on alert to look out for signs of the H1N1 flu. So there has been, a very big surveillance system in place, managing and also tracking down every bit of the condition wherever it may be. Yesterday when I spoke to Dr. Yeboah Awuzie, the Deputy Regional Health Director in charge of public health, he did indicate, even in Kumasi, the military hospital at Kumasi Bantama have been, carrying out some sort of examination on patients who visit the facility on daily basis. And in all their investigations, sometimes they pick some information or some of the patients suffering from the H1N1, just that they haven't made it known to the public. So the health officials have been on alert looking for the H1N1 condition and the people who actually have contracted the virus.
Ohime, thank you very much. Is there any further development that we should know? You mentioned earlier that some of the students who had gone home have not returned. So there is still the possibility that there are students out there in town who have the virus and who have not returned for the vaccination.
Initially, that was the fear, but now that fear has been alleviated by the responses that we've gotten from the health ministry, especially from the authorities of Kumasi Academy. Many of the students were in campus to take part in the end of a term examination. As today, the school breaked for the Christmas break. So the officials are aware that some of the students were not on campus. Few of them could not take part in the exercise as of yesterday. It's not that they were not on campus, but because the team couldn't attend to them, they said, okay, let's postpone the activity till tomorrow and also mop up with all the people who couldn't take part on the first day. So now the assurance is that even when the school goes on the Christmas break, anyone who wants to be vaccinated can still walk to any health facility and request for the vaccination, and he will be attended to. And beyond this, they say that they have enough supply to attend to anyone in the region who will come up with the H1N1 virus. That one, they will attend to that one. And beyond that, they have also received antiviruses from some NGOs that they think will go a long way to support the fight and then the preventive measures against the H1N1 epidemic.
Erastus, Ohime, I must say thank you very much for that update. Ohime Interior has been following keenly the outbreak of the H1N1 flu in KUMACA Academy, bringing us up to speed, and he's brought us a lot of information about how all of them have been already vaccinated. They're going home, so hopefully there is the assurance that they're not going to spread any more virus. But to our very big story, we'll be coming to you with that right after this break. Two major incidents have happened in Parliament a while ago. Now, first is the amendment of the controversial Special Development Initiative budget, in which the creation of a website is said to have cost about 800,000. Then there is the other incident, which is the apology, a national apology by Deputy Trade and Industry Minister Carlos Ahenkra on his confrontation with Member of Parliament Okujeto Ablakwa. We'll bring you that story right after this break. Please stay with us.